Hi. So, sorry if I was a little too excited there to start things off. Just busy day, running an agency. True story. So we have a lot going on, and actually I'm going to talk a little bit about that today because this is an agency lesson. Let's have an agency lesson. One of the things that I was thinking about this morning, like when I was thinking about what topic to talk about today, is just kind of looking at how things have been going here in the unified web design realm on my agency, where we do web design and development, and how that is kind of evolved over time, and conversations that I have and things that are happening that are kind of really interesting when I step back and I analyze it or look at it. When you first start something, you start out with the basics. You start out with less experience. You're going into it with whatever experience you had before that, which may not be much, or it might be not where it could be. But then as time goes on, you learn and you get better. And there's a couple ways you learn. So I'm going to use my agency as an example. So when I first started out, I kind of onboarded whatever clients I could get, really, to get any kind of experience. So there were smaller clients, maybe less sophisticated clients, or just smaller agencies we'd partner with or do business for. And that was fine. That's how you get started. You start simple. See, when you first get started, you don't have a big portfolio, don't have much to speak to. When I have conversations now with a client, or we're working on something, I can bring to the table, oh, we did this for this client, or we did this for this other client, or this is how we have things structured. This is how we do things. We do things the right way, right? we have all our processes, all our systems in place. We know how things operate, and we know how things operate in a number of different scenarios. So, but when you're first starting out, you don't have all that. So one of the things that happens is, so now the first year or two, I'm kind of solo, kind of on my own, maybe outsourcing some stuff. And I'm working with, like I said, maybe clients that are, they probably have their own systems in place. They're doing things, but it's not, I don't know. I just felt like in the beginning of my agency, the first year or two, I wasn't learning much in terms of looking at what other people are doing we were working with. It was more, we were just taking on tasks, right? Do this project, do that project. And in terms of the actual business itself, or how an agency is run and all that, I wasn't learning too much. But in a recent couple of years, that starts to change, right? My team grows. And also as I'm looking at, so my business, the internal team is evolving. We're evolving. We're getting more experience under our belt, more projects, more things are, more experience in all areas, right? And then we work with another agency and another agency and another agency. And this past year specifically, we started working with a little bit larger of an agency. And now, actually, we just closed, we're starting a new partnership with another larger agency. And what's happening there, and a really interesting thing for me, I was just telling my team, someone on my team this, I'm like, the really good thing about choosing to do work for other digital marketing agencies, or even other shops that do WordPress, and we just help them in various ways or in various aspects of that. We get to see inside other agencies and how they operate, how they do things, how they're project managing, how they tackle a project in general. So I'm learning a lot just by partnering with people. And I can apply some of those lessons to what we do, or where I think, maybe at some point, maybe not today, at some point we can do things the way they do it. So I'm always learning. I'm always looking what other people are doing. It's kind of like that old saying, you learn from, I'm going to murder it, but if, you don't learn, by what people say, but what by what they do. And that's kind of applies to this. They're in business, they're doing all this stuff, and you're just working with them, but just stand back and see what they're actually doing and learn from that. See what you can apply. You can't apply everything. They're going to be different. Every agency we work with has a different structure, different markets they're going after or whatever. But and what we're doing is going to be different, but you can still learn those lessons. I also learn from partners. Sometimes I have conversations about what they see we could do better. We talk about how we can work better together. I had a QA conversation this morning with somebody that we work with. And he gave me some really good insights into what he thought we could do better at or that we should look at. And it was related to QA. We have some QA processes in place, but as we evolve and we work with more sophisticated clients, it becomes larger, more complicated projects. It becomes more and more important to have some things in place. In the beginning, when I was just working on my own, I didn't need to have those things in place. It was good enough. And actually, we're pretty good now. I don't get complaints from our clients. They are all very, very happy with what we're doing. So we're good, but we want to prepare and continue to evolve and grow and improve our systems, the way we do things, and our team, so we can continue to deliver well. And also it helps us attract more, I keep saying sophisticated, but just maybe larger clients or clients with, larger clients, like agency partners with larger clients. We learned something this past day. One of our new partners does something a very specific way in Git. I won't go into what Git is, GIT, but in how they manage their development and how they do their version control and stuff. They did something that I hadn't seen before. And I said, we need to learn what he's doing there, because I think that would be very useful for some of our other projects and clients. But it's the more you work with people, whether it's direct clients or other agencies or whatever, the more you work with people, the more you can learn and become better yourself. You can absorb some of those lessons and just continue to get better. And as your team grows, they're going to bring more ideas. And it's this whole process of building an agency doesn't happen overnight. It does take patience. It does take time and experience and having those conversations and just observing. Just looking at what other people are doing, say, gosh, that piece right there, we could try that, and we're always doing that. I'm looking at how we do things in our project management all the time, like what other people do and what we could do. And, why do they do it that way? Or I need that person someday. Sometimes it's that. Like you look at somebody in an agency that has a specific role, you're like, I really could use that person someday. So that's the lesson today. There's a couple lessons in there, right? It is that patience, that overnight it's not going to happen overnight. We just went into our 5th year here. It's taken us this long to learn a lot of lessons, and we're still learning. It's our 5th year, and we're still learning because we're working with new clients and new projects and larger projects. As time has gone on, a couple of years ago, we were working on smaller projects. Now we're getting into more complex projects and larger projects and, more sophisticated clients and agency partners. So it takes time, but you have to, in any business, you have to be willing to be a learner. Always be learning, always be trying to improve, and just seeing what people are doing out there and seeing what you might be able to apply to continue to grow and evolve and get better and better clients, I guess. Till next time, take care.